breeze cool, everything's alright. You better pray that your old man don't get home tonight. Let me drive my car where the wild things are. I got a green limousine. Everyone's a star, but they won't get far without a green limousine.
Hey guys, welcome back. Another episode of the Green Limousine Project. So last episode I'd made up the plate for this, and this is the following day. Obviously you're seeing it later. I'm gonna do the stuff down here. What I've decided to do, come for a walk with me, is because I've got all this rust in here, I'm gonna make this panel in here, because this is really janky, rusty. There'll be nothing left if I sandblasted that or sanded it down. So I've got my table runner, clear plastic, and I've just made a template up. I've written in because they have to be in. I've written out because that's raised. I've got the step in there. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing this week, so come along for the journey. Alright, so I've marked out my recesses, so they're in. This one's protruding. So I'm just going to get on the stump down here in the groove, and I'm going to work them, and then I will planish them to get the get it to the right, get it smooth, get it looking good. Never really done that with a planishing hammer, so it'd be interesting to see how it looks. But I guess you don't know till you've done it. So as with anything, when you're starting to stretch metal and whatever, you probably want to hit it with the English wheel, just like the rolling pin with the dough. It flattens it out, flattens out the molecules, and then when we are pushing out these things, there's some give in it, and it will tighten it up again. So it's just stretching it. It's like clay. It's what Ray Shalang says. It's like clay. So I'm going to give this a roll in the English wheel, maybe a bit of a go over with the planishing hammer, just to put a bit of stretch in it, and then I'm going to go to that shrinking stump and start trying to get some shape into it. I've I cut up a old socket extension bar and welded it on the end of a unused attachment for the air hammer, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that in this slot here to just make it consistent and more deep. So that's where they've ended up for now. Maybe a little hammer and dolly work later on. I've noticed with my other videos I go, oh yeah, that's good enough, and then I spend hours on them afterwards, and then by the time I finish the video they look way better. So who knows how that'll end up looking, but even at that, that's plenty strong enough for what I'm supposed to be doing. So yeah, time will tell. Now I'm going to cut this out. I was going to do it all in one, but it actually isn't that rusty from this section on, so I'm going to cut out these lines here, or just just outside of them, and then I'm going to shape them up and then decide on what my plan of action is going to be after that. So that's the next thing. Okay, so I've just done a test fit up on this and put the put that bit in. You may see that bit next week because I'm having a real hard time getting that off the camera that I use, so it's not wanting to upload. So possibly you will have seen the making of this. Possibly you'll see it next week because I've got to figure out how to get that off. But anyway, one way or the other, doesn't really matter. So it fits pretty good. I've just got to really figure out how I'm gonna go about where it steps in there. I'm gonna undo it and undo it. I'm going to undo it and check to see whether I need it to come all the way out there or whether I can trim it back some, and then I think I'll work it on the planishing hammer to get the shapes I need. But yeah, I'm not unhappy with that at all. Yesterday I put the end of the socket extension bar, I welded onto this thing, but that snapped off almost straight away, and I kept doing those recesses with the broken off end of this because it was blunt enough. But I've reshaped it. Where are we? I've reshaped it, and then I've made this monstrosity, and basically I just run the sheet metal up and down this. Not enough air in the thing. This here was my first test, and then I did a little bit of refining. If we go for a walk, I was happy with the way this looked for this car yesterday, but I've refined it a little bit and got that a whole lot tighter, and I'm much happy with that. As I've said earlier in this episode, I think I'm happy with something, and then by the end of the episode I've done a heap more work to it and a heap more planishing or whatever, but that's much cleaner. It stretched a lot doing it the way I did it yesterday, and I just think the next one I do will be really tight because it won't be butchered. I don't think that's the right word, but it won't be. I won't have gone over it first. It'll all be with that planishing thing. So, but that works incredibly well. Yeah, I'm really impressed with the way that looks. So, tomorrow my son and I are going to do a heap of measurements on the valiants down the paddock, and then I'll decide whether I'm going to weld this in now using those measurements and making sure everything's spot on, or whether I wait until I get a windscreen rubber. And I was supposed to get one for Christmas and then forgot to order it, forgot all about it. So anyway, yeah, but I won't be welding that in or that section in the firewall until I've done all those measurements and I'm happy. Got a new member of the crew this week. Living in Australia, mate. Tell ya. Where'd you go, fella? You're gone. Alright, I'm gonna end this video here. I'm not welding this in because I've still got a fair bit to do before I'm at that stage, but it's good to have these panels made up ready to go. And I'm not in a rush. Oh, sorry about that. I'm not in a rush as far as I don't have a timeline. Like, I have a date by which I'd like to have it done, but I'm not gonna. I think it's ridiculous when you see these shows and they put these horrendously stupid time frames on themselves and all this pressure on everyone around them. I just, that would take the joy out of doing this. So I'm going to end it there. I'm going to put a few clips in. The carby came for the bike. So I've had that running, idling, playing around a little bit. I'm going to put a bit of that in. But as far as this episode's concerned, it's done. Be kind to one another. It's free to be kind. And thanks for watching. If you'd like to like, subscribe and leave a comment, I really appreciate those things. I do try to get back to everybody. And if I haven't got back to you yet, I will soon. So it's just been a bit hectic around here. So be blessed and thanks for watching.